Well, it's almost that time of the year when the biggest gaming event occurs in the world, and that is E3. Obviously, there are a lot of games that will be announced or presented at E3, but today we will be focusing on what 343 will be sharing with us regarding of Halo. I have a good handful of predictions of what could be announced regarding of Halo this E3, and also the likelihood of these predictions actually being played out. The only known information we have of Halo at E3 2017 is two tweets by Brian Gerard, 343 Industry Community Manager. The first tweet reads, which I quote, "I'll slip into my Dream Crusher persona for a minute in the name of realistic expectations. We've said this already, but we'll have a little something at E3, but it's not related to the next major entry in the franchise. The thing I'm looking at in this tweet is the little something that he said, because it's a little suspicious in a way. The little something could actually be a little something at E3, or it could actually be something huge that they want us to hit us with while we're not expecting it. What I see with this, we could either be going down two paths of what E3 could look like for Halo. The first path, we could either go by a large announcement by 343 talking about a new Halo game or another large component to the franchise, and the second path that we could maybe take is a small announcement of a new thing or two coming to the franchise. And we'll try and theorize and predict on what the little something is in this video. And the second tweet that he gives us is more disappointing, but gives us more news about E3. And it's OMG stop, there is no Halo 3 anniversary. Now, don't give your hopes up just because of this tweet. I'll be explaining this why later in the video. Now let's predict on what's coming to E3. Okay, so there's probably a good chance that we'll see Halo Wars 2 DLC talked about E3 this year. But what type of DLC will we see? One thing we'll definitely see there is a new Halo Wars 2 multiplayer DLC leader. And this time, if they keep the order from going Unity to Banish, then we should be getting a new Banish leader. But there's a good possibility that we could be getting a different faction leader in Halo Wars 2. If we would get a different leader in Halo Wars 2, it doesn't have to be canon, because them bringing back Sergeant Forge and Johnson wasn't canon at all. If you guys don't know, they're dead in the actual Halo universe. So if they really wanted to bring the Flood back, well hell, bring them back. Or if they really wanted to bring the Prometheans into Halo Wars 2, well hell, bring them. Basically, we'll just have to wait at E3 to see what they're going to bring. But since it's E3, I do think they maybe will have a special leader to announce since it's E3, because it's such a huge event. Also, what we could see that are included in the season pass that were talked in the Halo Wars 2 vid docs. If you guys don't remember, there's going to be more campaign expansion, which is great. Now, if you guys played it and completed the campaign of Halo Wars 2, unfortunately, there's a cliffhanger ending. But I do think the idea of having DLC missions in Halo Wars 2 was a good call, so the campaign will feel more completed after we get these missions. I do feel even in one part of the campaign, it makes sense for there to be more missions in Halo Wars 2 when Cutter says we have a lot of work to do.
Bring up the map. We have a lot of work to do until she gets back.
Aye, Captain.
Continuation of this campaign, I really hope to see a larger focus on the Banish backstory so we can find out more about Atriox and the Shipmaster. Because if you guys know, the market and Know Your Enemy didn't really stay true because we didn't get to know much about Atriox. We even got to know more about Decimus. I also hope that there would be little hints in these campaign missions of what's coming next in the next major Halo game. And also, if we get these campaign missions, I hope, so much hope, that we get these blur cutscenes that are always in Halo Wars 2 and also Halo 2 Anniversary. So, if you guys don't know, 2017 marks the 10-year anniversary of Halo 3. And as we have seen in the past, there has been remastered versions of Halo Combat Evolved and Halo 2. And with these games being remastered, it seems like Halo 3 should get the same treatment.
Wrong.
As I said earlier, Sketch did say in a tweet, "OMG stop, there is no Halo 3 Anniversary." It kind of killed a portion of the hype train, if you ask me. Now, when some people saw this, they were probably upset, and I kind of was when I saw this too, but it just left me scratching my head thinking, why wouldn't they make a Halo 3 Anniversary? If they wouldn't do a Halo 3 Anniversary, I would definitely think there would be some sort of thing for us players to show homage to. Halo 3 is the biggest and most popular Halo game out of the whole series, and sold so many copies. It was a monumental game of the time, and it still is to this day. I just can't see why they wouldn't be making Halo 3 Anniversary or something in its honor. Even Microsoft, who loves their money, would be missing out on a huge opportunity to make so much money by selling a remake of Halo 3. But before you actually think it's 100% sure that there's going to be no Halo 3 Anniversary this year, There was an occurrence before Halo 2 Anniversary was announced when Frank O'Connor said that there's no plans for Halo 2 Anniversary. So with this, what he said, keep your hopes up and expect maybe to see something at E3. That doesn't seem too far out there, as 343 having a new content update in Halo 5 that has remastered Halo 3 maps, Halo 3 weapons, probably like the brute weapons. Personally, I think this would be very nice if they bring it. At the same time, it would be a disappointment because I think Halo 3 deserves more. Otherwise, I can't think of any other type of homage they could have for Halo 3. So I guess we'll just have to wait at E3 and see what they bring us. Okay, since we're pretty much still on the topic of Halo 5, there could be a chance of there being a new content update. Like I said, they could bring Halo 3 maps and Halo 3 weapons in the game. But if they would do an update, they could just throw any ideas that they have left in the idea box that was meant to be in Halo 5 multiplayer, or just ideas that they kind of worked on to see if it would work in a game. However, I do think Halo 5 receiving a new content drop is unlikely because Halo Wars 2 is the current Halo game out now, and Halo 5 is pretty much the completed, I would say. It's pretty much complete. There's still some things that still could be in the game, but it's pretty much complete. And also, the team at 343 is hard at working on the next Halo game, and they just simply don't have the time to work on Halo 5 content drop. So you guys know or not, lately spin-off games have been a big community topic, and there are still a lot of good ideas circling around. So people have been thinking, well, there could be a new spin-off game coming. One idea is to do a Halo Flood survival game that would put the player in the shoes of a Marine while fighting hordes of Flood. However, the idea of having Flood is really awesome, but it's very unlikely since 343 seems to be moving their games to a T rating instead of a rated M, so they could focus on larger audience levels. The Flood are far too gruesome for a T-rated game, and if they would make a Flood horror game, they would have to make it rated M. But I'm all for a Flood horror game. I think it just sounds fun as hell, and I'm up for fighting Flood once again with flamethrowers and just incendiary grenades. It just sounds awesome. Another idea is to have a Halo 5 ODST to become a game, and this sounds awesome because I love ODSTs. It's been so long since we've seen the Helljumpers in Halo, except Halo Wars 2, but I mean actually in a first-person shooter fighting alongside Helljumpers. It's probably since Halo Reach since we've done that. I think it would be nice return for a side Halo game to have ODSTs on the focus. Story-wise, I really don't know what they'll do. I don't think they would stick with the ODST squad from Halo 3 because some of them are dead and just retired, and that ODST squad is Alpha 9. So if they did this, I would assume that would probably make a new squad of characters. I think if they do this, they should have it as a Halo 5 campaign expansion that's part of the Halo 5 Guardian. One other spin-off game idea that I thought of, and I also seen kind of around the community, is this is why I think the title should be, is Halo 5 Swords of San Helios, which would obviously focus on the Arbiter's Swords of San Helios. This could be a good way to expand a Halo 5 story and also let us know what the Arbiter has been getting up to. If they did this, this would fulfill a lot of people's dreams by bringing back good old playable Elite. The last type of spin-off game I'll think that they'll do maybe is another top-down shooter like Halo Spartan Assault or Spartan Strike. Now, it's not a bad game, but they shouldn't be the area that 343 focuses on. The likelihood of a spin-off games happening is 50-50 for me. I honestly can't say that they will require extra time and resources to make a side game because it costs a lot of money, and like I said, they're definitely still focusing on Halo 6. And talking about Halo 6, I really hope we do see some sort of teaser at E3 this year. Halo 6, from the sounds of it, will release either in 2019 and maybe at the earliest late 2018. I think if they give some sort of teaser, it would be fun for the community to start theorizing on what's coming next. Even though Sketch did deny that there would be no Halo 6 at E3, something tells me if it's on E3, we'll get some sort of teaser this year for Halo 6. I had this just gut feeling it's gonna come this year. I don't know what, maybe at PAX or Comic-Con. Who knows? So I'm still keeping my hopes up if the little something might be a big something at E3, and that big something would be Halo 6. And the last thing I could think that they could have at E3 this year is the long-awaited trailer for the Halo TV series that was announced back in 2013. If you guys didn't know, this series was being produced by Steven Spielberg, well, is being produced by Steven Spielberg, which makes this show sound very promising that it could be really good and high quality. The show is supposed to release around Halo 5's release date to coincide with its story, but obviously it didn't happen. Ever since 2013, there's been no known news whatsoever if the show was still in production, and it was assumed that it was pretty much a dead show. Until 2016, it was confirmed that the show was still being actively worked on, and it's not dead. So this is promising, but I think we would see some sort of teaser for this already. I think there's a good chance that we could see this at E3 this year. And also, I hope the series has a strong hunt the truth feeling to it and can set the story of Halo 6 so we can have an insight of what's going on. So guys, that is all my predictions of E3 this year. They're just predictions. I don't really think all this stuff will happen, or some of the stuff, but I hope some of the stuff will happen. I know Halo Wars 2 stuff will probably definitely happen because, well, they'll keep giving us monthly updates for the game. So I really hope we get something kick-ass this year because the Halo community, I feel, has been in this boring hole lately. No story news at all besides like little Halo Wars 2 tidbits, DLC and stuff. And I think we just need a spark of life to be like, oh cool, a new Halo first-person shooter game's coming out or something. You know, that just gets the community hyped. Also, this Xbox Scorpio is going to be heavily talked about and it's going to be revealed at E3 this year. I'm interested to see what they got laid out on the table for us. It looks pretty good. I think it'll give Sony the run for their money. So it'll be a good competitor of the PlayStation. Also, from the sounds of it, Sketch will be at E3 this year for the Microsoft press conference. Probably talking about Halo. I have no idea if he would talk about anything else. I mean, he's definitely there for Halo. And don't forget, Microsoft's press conference is Sunday, June 11th. It starts 2 p.m. Pacific time and 5 p.m. Eastern time. Now, it'll be streamed on Mixer, so if the time differences are, if you live in a different region of the world, I don't know the times for you, but just, you got the internet, Google. I mean, hey, we live in the 21st century. That's one of our luxuries. I'll also be covering any sort of Halo news that comes out E3 this year, and I'm excited. E3 is just always an exciting time of the year. Down in the comments below, guys, put out of 10 what you feel about E3 this year. I mean, I'm going to go over the charts. 100 out of 10. It's just so exciting for me because every year at E3 you at least get something good coming out of it. And this year we have some pretty promising stuff like Call of Duty World War II, Destiny 2, Battlefront 2, and God knows what else is coming out of E3 this year. So yeah, guys, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe, and so you can keep up with what I have to say about E3. I'll probably give news, like I said. I'll also give some opinions as well. I'll also put the bell notification on so you know when I put those E3 videos up. And like always, guys, I'll see you in the next one. And here's to a good E3.